welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading. And what that is every week, you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks. And we'll go through and do a quick spread to just see what the general energies will be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the week of November 21st through the 28th for the messages to resonate. If you come across this reading at any time, it could contain little nuggets of information for you. I always like to say that I think of card reading like dream interpretation. We don't take it too seriously, and there's a saying in card reading, we say take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you feel like maybe parts of the reading resonate, either that or maybe you're drawn to more than one stone or more than one pile, by all means, please check out whatever kind of feels like, whatever draws you in or whatever you kind of feel a pull to, you gravitate towards, because there may be a message contained. Now, I just wanted to go through some brief announcements. This week, I wanted to thank everyone for checking out my deck collection reading. I am going to try to put out more of them. I'm going to be doing a series of videos that talk about the different oracle decks that I have. So the video that I posted was about my tarot decks. And the next video I'm going to do is going to be about my psychology and self-help decks. I'm going to try to film the video soon, but like I described in each of the videos, I'm filming those in addition to the weekly energy card reading and the How to Tarots. So and time is a little bit at a premium, so please bear with me as those videos come out. The deck review videos may be sporadic. They're not going to be on a set schedule the way that the weekly energy card reading or the How to Tarots are. How to Tarot always comes out on Tuesday. Weekly Energy always comes out on Saturday. And so just stay tuned. I'm going to try to get that video out soon. It's not very many decks in that video, but it just takes time to film and upload and all that good stuff. So all that jazz. But I will definitely try to have that out for you very soon. And I enjoy those videos because I'm very flattered that you like to see the materials that I use. And also, if you see a regular card reading like the weekly energy card reading or How to Tarot, if you see a deck that you like, I always post the name and the author of the deck in the description box. So that is also down below. If you see any decks that you see in this reading or any other one of my readings, please feel free to check it out, and we will be doing reviews on them very soon. I have a lot of oracle decks, I have a lot of tarot decks, and I have to break it up because it is a lot. It's quite a bit. All right, so that said, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I decided to do something kind of special. Again, time has been at a premium this week. This time last year, I had done a separate reading that was, it was a special Thanksgiving post that talked about what are you grateful for. Please check that out if you want. It is in my playlist if you want to check it out. Just because a video was posted last year doesn't mean that it doesn't pertain. Sometimes you can visit videos from the past. It's funny, sometimes YouTube and the algorithm will suggest videos from some of my favorite readers, and I'll watch one from a long time ago and it really resonates. So, please feel free to check that out if you want to look at the what are you grateful for reading from last year. I was very flattered. I had a lot of people check out my Halloween readings from last year too. Those were really fun for me as well. So feel free to check it out. That is still there. But today I decided to kind of do a hybrid of the two. I wanted it to be a weekly energy card reading, but I wanted it to kind of be the Thanksgiving Day holiday as well. And if you watched the video from last year, the What Are You Grateful For, I was laughing at myself because I ran into the same conundrum. I knew this year, I know last year I didn't. But I have quite a few animal decks, and actually this is going to come up because probably the next video after psychology and self-help, the deck review video, I do have animal decks. And it's funny, I have about 4 or 5. I think I have 4. I have 4 animal decks. And for some reason, I totally thought that throughout all of my decks that I had at least 3 turkeys. And I don't have 3 turkeys. I have 2 turkeys and a grouse. I did have a goose in there, but I didn't want to use the goose. What I did is, as the placeholders, I went ahead and I pulled the same cards that I did from the What Are You Grateful video. I have just 3 of my Oracle decks that are animal based. And what I did is I went ahead and I put, I have 2 turkeys and a grouse. A grouse is kind of like a partridge. It's like or a quail. It's like the delicate kind of bird. And just to preface, I'm not trying to insult anybody who are, if you do not eat meat, or if you do not partake in the meat eating side of Thanksgiving, I'll present it this way. Whatever bird you would want to pardon this year, whatever bird you would want to spare this year. You know how, what is it? I live in North America, and you know how the president pardons a turkey? He says, okay, this turkey is blessed. It's not going to be eaten this year. We can look at it that way. Because I totally sympathize with you. I've tried for many years to try to go vegan. It's a little difficult for me. I did one time see a video about beef that actually swore me off eating beef for about 6 to 8 months, and I still don't eat hamburger, which is an accomplishment. I do still, unfortunately, eat turkey and chicken, and I know that's bad. But, okay, sorry, I went off on a weird tangent there. But what I did is kind of a Thanksgiving themed reading here. So I definitely want to keep it real broad. I know some folks celebrate Thanksgiving, but not Christmas. I know, so my channel is completely open to all religions. I do not judge on religion. I do not have a specific religion that we follow here. So but if you celebrate Thanksgiving or you don't, what we're doing here is I'm going to go ahead and do a Oracle-based reading today. And so the Oracle-based reading is that I can read any type of cards. I'm sorry, not specifically me, but if the card has symbolism, it doesn't have to be a tarot card for us to read it. And that's the exciting thing. I love reading dice. I love reading playing cards. I do playing card games. Like if you look at my playlist, I've done, I've read Harry Potter Uno cards. I've read Pokemon playing cards. The game. So even though it's an Oracle deck, we can read it for a weekly energy card reading, and that's what we're going to do. So I have 3 Oracle decks here, and I got 2 turkeys and a grouse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hybrid the What Are You Grateful For along with your weekly energy card reading. So you are going to choose from, you the watcher get to choose from 1 of 3 tarot, I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying tarot, 1 of 3 Oracle decks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify with the tarot deck, and then I'm going to sweeten the deal by throwing in 1 additional oracle that's going to say, what are you grateful for? So we're going to do your weekly energy card reading. Normally I would do the weekly energy with the tarot and clarify with the oracle. We're going to, check that, reverse it, and we're gonna do your read with oracle, clarify with tarot, and then we're gonna pull 1 extra card to say, okay, during this holiday week, what do you have to be thankful for? So it's going to be 1 additional message. So I hope that's fun. I hope that's a nice way that we can kind of put, mash 2 videos into 1. And so I'm going to go ahead and introduce the decks here. We've got 3 really beautiful decks. I haven't used these in a while. The first, excuse me, I can't speak. The first deck is the Animal Oracle, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And with it, I have a beautiful rose quartz that's raw. And this was actually given to me by one of my tarot lady friends. I participate in a tarot group, and all of our ladies are so sweet. And she did, one of my dear friends gave me this stone. And I had the option to roll it. I have a friend who tumbles stones. I had the option to tumble it, to smooth it out. And I almost can. It's perfect the way it is in the raw. And it really represents love if you follow like stone, energy. The second deck is the, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Messages from Your Animal Guides. And this is by Stephen D. Farmer. It's the same, he's the same author who does the Earth Magic Oracle. And with it we have a beautiful, the lighting really doesn't do it justice. I hope you can see this. This has a beautiful, this is a smoky quartz. And what I love about this stone is that it's all gray, but if you hold it up to the light, it has this beautiful flash of like whiskey brown in it. It's really gorgeous. You know, it's funny if you like I'm sorry, if you like musicals, if you've ever watched the musical Gigi with Leslie Caron, like the original one, it's so wonderful. It's funny. Her aunt is teaching her how to be a lady, and she's looking at an emerald, and she's holding up to the light, and she goes, "Only the rarest emeralds have that flash of elusive blue." And that's what I feel like I'm saying anytime I look at this quartz. I'm like, only the most beautiful quartz have that flash of whiskey brown. Okay, sorry, enough of that. But that's deck number 2. Deck number 3, we have, oh gosh, I'm sorry. This is by Jessica Swift, and it is the, oh my gosh, I think it's the Animal Allies by Jessica Swift. And again, the lighting, you know, the sun is setting at 5 p.m., daylight savings time, hashtag seasonal affective disorder. We have a beautiful garnet stone. And again, the lighting doesn't do it justice when you hold it up. It has a beautiful, like, whiskey, it has a really dark garnet color, almost like the cards, so that's why I paired it. And we're going to be clarifying with the Tarot of the Southwest Sacred Tribes. And on top of it, I have a beautiful Dalmatian Jasper horse, and she's really cute. And then with it, we have the Sacred Traveler cards, and with it, we have a citrine. All right, so enough blabbing. I'm gonna freeze frame and let you choose. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and move these other decks up. And I think this reading should be the same length of time when I'm not blabbing. As I say every week, it's been a little bit of a long week. I've been a little bit tired, so I thank you guys for listening. I'm going to shuffle these cards real quick. All right, Turkey Spirit, and this is a gorgeous deck. Colette Baron-Reid, all of the decks by Colette Baron-Reid are really pretty, but you know, it's funny, and I'll probably be going over this again when I do the animal deck review, but I had already had like 3 animal decks, and I kept seeing this deck in readings, and I just had to have it. So I tell you know, again, it's cheaper than therapy, y'all. Cheaper than therapy. Okay, enough blabbing. So deck number 1, the Rose Quartz. What is your week? Let's go ahead and get your week. Turkey Spirit. That's a really cute turkey, too. He has, okay, just for the record, he kind of has this plumage. Kind of has this plumage in the front there. So he looks like, you know, and honestly, turkeys, male turkeys, they fan out their tail feathers to get attention, because they're the, you know, believe it or not, you know, all in the can't speak today, in the bird world, the male of the species are the pretty ones. Like, you know, when you look at ducks, the mallard has the bright colors. When you look at peacocks, they're the bright colors. Same thing with turkeys. And it's funny, my mom lives in a state where they have a lot of these. Like, she has a gaggle of turkeys. She talks about this one tom turkey that she has, and he has like 5 women, you know. It's nice to be the king, right? But he's got, and he really is, he's really dominant. If you also want to laugh, not in a funny way, but if you Google, if you come, while you're here on YouTube, if you go ahead and search for turkey chasing the postman, chasing the U.S. postal guy, there is a funny video where you'll see a turkey in Florida who's running after the postman, and what he does is he, you know, and what it is the postman keeps like treats the same way they do with dogs, right? You know, the postman's smart. He's not trying to get bit by a turkey. And turkeys get dominant too. Wow, guys, I'm already getting like a really strong energy. Okay. And then energy of the week. Oh, holy crap. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read this as kind of a block. Oh, that's interesting, guys. All right, use your mind wisely. All right, let's go ahead and get your tarot deck, your tarot card. Ooh, this card's popping. popping. All right, and let's go ahead and get your card. What are you thankful for this week? Okay, wow. This is a really good week, guys. And again, this is a gorgeous deck. It really is. Give with gratitude. First off, your turkey says give with gratitude and grace. And there are numbers here, just in case. If you're a numerology buff, the top card that you chose is 61, which boils down to 7. Beginning of the week, you got 51, which boils down to 6, and 9, which is the 6 upside down. Excuse me, middle of the week, you have 56, which boils down to 11 or 2, which is a real twin flame or balanced relationship kind of number. And then you've got 7 again towards the end of the week. Your tarot card, you got 5, which is the Hierophant. But beginning of the week, wow, guys, you know what I'm really getting is that this kind of came in as an angle. The beginning of the week, you got Sandpiper Spirit. So again, you got another bird, and Sandpiper is really live, live like, what is it? Lithe, live, like really light on their feet. And the thing is, you know, what is that song? The Hot Steppa. It's a real reggae kind of song. You know, you're the hot steppa. Ooh. You know what it is that, I think at the beginning of the week, you're feeling really lively. Maybe you're taking some time off for the holiday, who knows? And it's kind of like the beginning of the week. You know how it is when you know, that first day off when you actually get some rest. But this is interesting. First off, I see water lilies at the bottom here, and I see someone kind of splashing around. I really get the sense, you know, it's funny, the feeling that I'm getting is that I get the sense that you're having a lot of fun, but it's almost like have you ever heard the expression dogging out a car? You know how, like, maybe if you're driving to the beach or something and you just open up the throttle, or if you're driving, like, I'm sorry, I know how to drive a stick shift. Yeah, I know how to drive a stick. But if you've ever driven a manual transmission car, and you know how you open it up, like, it's that sense of like really flooring it. And I'm sorry, there's no parallel to that with an automatic transmission. There's just not. It's one of those things where you're shifting into high gear, like right out of the starting gate, and it's almost like the take a time out is coming in as a block. The other thing is you got kind of a bear here, and the bear in both Oracle and Lenormand kind of has a little bit of a it has a little bit of an authority kind of feel. This could be a papa bear or a mama bear. I'm also seeing a lot of Native American images about, like, I'm seeing more of a healing, because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of blue and the bear paw, and the bear means strength, but here the keyword says take time out, but then you see playful being the crown of it. I think it's almost cautioning you, don't get too wild in the beginning of the week. Don't get too wild. The other thing is 51 boils down to 6, and then 9 is like 6 on its head. It's like 6 in upside down. So I kind of read that one of two ways. Maybe you've really, one way that I read it is maybe you've really been needing a time, like really needed a break, and now the beginning of the week, or it's finally your day to let loose, right? You've needed a break, you've needed a time out, and you're actually I do see that as kind of positive energy, where it's like your first day on vacation, or your first day off is really, you're feeling really energetic. But the other way that I read this is because it did come out as an angle. It almost came out as a block. It's almost like you know, you want to play but you're too tired, or it's if you are pushing yourself to play, it's almost like it's telling you you need to take a break. You need to take a break. The other thing is that you might have either a mother figure, because it could be a mama bear, because the bear also represents strength and health. But it could either be someone in it can also be an authority figure, like a papa bear, like maybe it's your boss, or your father or grandfather. One way that I kind of read this is almost like you might have like some kind of authority figure telling you to kind of amp down, or cautioning you that you're being a little too playful, that you're being too avant-garde. But either way, I do see the beginning of the week. If you can balance this energy, I think that it'll be real good. To be honest, I'm not seeing a balance here. Um, the other way that I kind of read it is maybe you are finally getting a break after a long work time, and it's almost like you're playing as hard as you're working, and either way you're exhausted. And either way you're exhausted. So it is kind of telling you you need to balance these two energies. But one last way that I can read it is maybe you really really want to play, but you're too freaking tired to do it. Or one final expression of it is that maybe you had some kind of really fun event planned, and maybe it's like the fun event planned right in the beginning of the week, but it's like your first day off from work, or your first day, you know, your first day back from the weekend, and you're just kind of dragging butt, right? It's almost like you don't have the energy to give because you're feeling a little depleted, or you know, something higher than you is telling you to take a break because you're not going to be able to retain your strength. Your strength will be debilitated, you know, if you continue to go hard the way that you're going hard. But either way, that's really great energy. It's either great energy. It's really great energy because Sandpiper Spirit's a cute card. It's really playful. It's fun. It's that kind of joyful energy that you want to have. It's the other thing that I kind of see with that is it's those activities where you really lose track of time, and those are the really healthy kind of activities that release endorphins in your brain, and they make you healthier, right? It makes you healthier because you're not. But the one thing is that if you take that to an extreme, you know, that can be sometimes, you know, staying up late doing the fun things, but then having no energy for the important things in life. The other thing is maybe you do have work the next day, and you know, maybe you had kind of the other way I kind of read this is maybe you had a real playful weekend that's carrying over into Monday, and you have to get back to work, right? You know, don't stay up late even though you had a great weekend, you know, get back to business. But middle of the week, you got some really beautiful energy here, guys. And this bridge right here would be right around if you celebrate the Thanksgiving Day holiday. You have Spider Spirit, which is make your dreams real. And this is really quite beautiful because it's 56, which is like 5 moving into 6 is like a. The other thing is we got 5, 6, 7. That's a real transition. And you got a 7 here. It's 61, which boils to 7. So I think in the middle of the week, I have a sense that you're either having really good dreams, or maybe you have some kind of idea. I do get the sense that maybe in the middle of the week you're working on projects that really represent your future. Um, Either that, or you're just in a real creative energy. You know, when I see a spider, I do kind of think of Charlotte's Web. Um, I also think I think of a real psychologically nurturing kind of zone, like a kind of sign. You're in a real creative mood, and it's almost like you're spinning the ideas of your future. The other thing is that I do see two kind of globes here. So quite honestly, maybe you are starting to decorate for the holidays, or this is quite possibly because this might be like the Tuesday, Wednesday leading up to Thanksgiving. Maybe I know most of the world is still trying to social distance right now, but if you are quarantined with those close to you, maybe you are doing a little bit of decorating to have people over. Either that, or the way that I think about it is, if you are doing things virtually, maybe you are trying to make your backdrop look pretty. I think throughout this whole thing, all of us have become pros at making the background look good, right? The rest of the room can be a mess, but as long as you have pretty clothes from the waist up, and but either way, but you know what I'm almost getting is that I'm getting a strong sense that of creative manifestation. It's almost like, I do get a sense that maybe you're taking a break for the holiday, and you're feeling really at home. The other thing is that you're really in your head or dreaming about your ideal, about your future, and that can be career, it can be family, it can be your home. Like maybe you want to buy a house and you're imagining what this home looks like. But I do get the sense that you might be decorating in some kind of small way, but you're also kind of envisioning the future, and it's very positive energy. The other thing is that with the turkey spirit that you picked, I do think that even if you're not with your family, that you're going to have some really nice connections to them around the holiday. Maybe you send text messages, or some kind of special exchange occurs. But I think you're going to be in a real positive energy in the middle of the week, guys. The other thing I kind of get is that you're really going to be kind of almost making plans for the future. You know how sometimes at this time of year, towards the end of the year, you start thinking about, what your goals are for 2021. What you want to do, where you want to be. The other thing is when you actually have a moment or a day off to kind of breathe and relax, and decorate your home, and enjoy those warm moments with family and cooking, and being with people. It really kind of, I get a strong pentacles kind of feeling. It really it gives you a sense of what you value, and it gives you a sense of what you want in your life, right? And I think you're going to be really strong in that element. I do think that you're going to be thinking about the future, and it's almost like you're thinking about the future while you're decorating. Maybe it could, if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, maybe because I'm also getting a sense that maybe because all of us are social distancing right now, that maybe you're spending your holiday doing kind of more decorative things, and thinking about the future. Now, the end of the week is really beautiful, guys. And again, it goes from 5, 6, and here it's like 5, 5, 6, and the 51 combines to being a 6, and then it goes into 7. I really think that you're having a progressive week. You're having a real progressive week. And the end of your week is really positive. This is one of the most positive cards in this deck. And I love honeybees. I love bees. But bee spirit, it says sweet results await. So the other thing is that maybe if you are working on something over, again, I get a strong feeling like you do either have some time off, or you have the holiday off, and it gives you a nice reprieve. You really feel kind of rejuvenated by it. You might be kind of tired in the beginning of the week, but by the middle of the week, you're really, the other thing is that I do get this quiet sense like you are pacing yourself. You're not pushing it by the end of the week. But by the end of the week, it's almost like, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting this sense like you're making plans, and then you're mapping out the plan. Like you're mapping out the plan because you think of a bee, you think of a worker bee, right? And bees work. They do little things. They collect the nectar that creates the honey, and there's no such thing as a small task. If you break up a bigger plan into smaller pieces, you can make that manifest big time. And I think what it is it's really just telling you that if you start breaking your big ideas into smaller, tangible work workable little pieces, that suite of results are going to await. And I do just get such a real positive energy from this. Like it's almost as if by the end of the week you're really seeing a bright future, and you're doing the little you're buzzing around and doing the little things to make it happen. But that's such a positive card, guys. And look at how much yellow is in that. That's just, sun. It reminds me of the sun. And this is really beautiful because honestly, your two cards really play into this. You got the Hierophant, and the Hierophant really represents structure. I also, what I got from this thought came to me the other day. One thing that I never thought about with the Hierophant, it's really about keeping the faith. The other thing is that both bees and Hierophant, when you think about it, when you think about the structure of a beehive, or you think about the structure, this could be at work. It could be in your religious community. But I kind of I keep hearing the phrase, keep the faith, keep the faith. And it's one of those things where your little endeavors, the little ideas that you have, can grow into really big accomplishments. And you do knock it out you work at it and knock it out one little piece at a time. And the thing is that the other thing that I kind of get is that I really get the sense that you're getting spiritual guidance. Maybe these ideas seem to be coming to you through the ether. But one thing that I kind of get is that it's almost like your angels or God are kind of speaking to you. And again, this is an open religion channel. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in your higher power, your spirit guides, your animal guides, whatever you believe in. But I really think it's speaking to you this week. It's speaking to you. And I think it's helping you, because the other thing is that in these two cards, you see little little hive. You see the honeycombs, and then you see the garlands of the spider web. And what that means is that this is all a little interconnected. The other thing that I think it's kind of telling you is that maybe you've done little projects that you felt didn't amount to anything, but those little projects were developing your skill, right? Like, it's funny, I'll even use myself as an example. I read tarot on YouTube. And it's funny, I have a very traditional day job. I sometimes get a little shy to tell people that I do this in my side time, but I find a lot of fulfillment in it. And it's funny, looking back on it, one day I could be like, oh, remember that, those years when I was reading tarot, what was that about? No, that was important. Those little things that you love to do, and the other thing is the playful spirit, those little things that you love to do are developing your character. So I do think, the other thing is that I think that there's a lot of spiritual messages for you. I do get a sense of life path in this. And I know that's kind of big energy for a weekly energy, but I just think that I'm hearing compass. Like, I think you're finding your true north this week. And it's going to be in the little plans. It's going to be in the dreams that you have, and the little activities that you do to further those dreams. But I do think that it's telling you, I keep hearing, keep the faith. And I do think that, a higher power is really speaking to you. The other thing that I kind of get is that these little things that you do are serving a greater good. And because, you've heard, God and the universe acts through you. There's no one else on this planet that is exactly like you, and you have special gifts. You are here for a purpose, and I really feel like you're living that purpose this week. And then what you are thankful for, oh wow, guys, this is a gorgeous card. You got begin now. Take your first step. And look at this, guys. I get the sense that you are either deciding, and look, we've got purple and gold. Look at that whole color scheme. There's a whole synchronicity with the colors there, guys. I think you're deciding to embark on a path, guys. And I think this is very divinely guided. And I think the other thing that I get is that if you feel like you're questioning it all, please say a prayer, or, kind of put your energy out there for a sign. But I really get the sense like you're excited, because look, this person's saying, okay, have a good trip. Have fun, be safe. I think that you are about to start on a really big new adventure. And it's almost like you're kind of planning it this week, or you have the ideas for it this week. And that's something to be very grateful, because what a beautiful path, guys. The reason this is your what to be grateful card is because you have a wonderful, glorious path ahead of you that is your purpose. And that's something really to be grateful for, guys. The other thing is that you look at the colors, the greens and the purples and the golds. That's really gorgeous. But this is really positive, guys. I think you're going to have a wonderful week. If you do have the holiday off, you're going to be having big dreams and big plans, and you're going to be thinking about how to put those plans into motion. And that's really wonderful. I'm so happy for you. All right, so let's move on. Deck number 2, we've got messages from your animal guides, and we got the grouse. So that's kind of like a pigeon or a quail. Not really like a pigeon, more like a quail. And you've got the smoky quartz. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to do a very quick shuffle. And let's see, what's your energy for the week? Grouse pile. What's our energy for the grouse pile? Now, this does kind of make a loud noise because the cards have a little bit of a ribbed texture, so it does. I'm not being hard on my cards, it's just how they sound. Okay. Middle of the week. Okay, middle of the week. Ooh, thank you. End of the week. Yet again, the beginning of the week, we have a block popping out. I wonder if that's going to happen with the third deck, but end of our week. Okay. Oh, wow, guys. I haven't had this card come out in a while. This is exciting. All right, let's go ahead and get your oracle. I'm sorry, your tarot. I'm so used to it. Oh, wow, that flipped. Do you see this, guys? The one card flipped over, and the Fool is peeking out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. And let's go ahead. What are you thankful for? What do you have to be thankful for? Oh, okay. I'm going to go with what's on the bottom. All right. Oh, that's awesome. Look at this, guys. Okay, first off, for the grouse, the bird that you picked, I'm just going to read it. It says, express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming or dancing. Oh my gosh, guys. You know, it's so funny. Okay, just to throw it out there, and I will be going over this card in the when I do the deck review for psychology and self-help decks. But just last night, I was pulling cards for myself, and I got dance. So I love this. You know, sometimes it's interesting, if you're in North America, if you're in any part of the world, we're still in pandemic mode. And one of the best things that you can do to keep your spirits up, especially when the sun sets early and you're feeling out of sorts, singing along with music, really, it releases endorphins. Don't be afraid. Sing like no one's watching, but also dance like no one's watching, right? It really does. Even if it's a little dance, put a little hip into it, I think that's a very positive energy, and it really does. It helps you feel better. It helps you feel better. So if you're having a blue moment, even if you don't feel like it, just find a good song. Find a good song that you can't help but dance to, and just put it on for like 30 seconds and do a little dance. The other thing I always kind of think is it's always fun to find little things throughout the day that you'll do a little dance over. Like, I know this is so silly, but my little niece, she dressed up. She's not little anymore. She's grown. But my little grown niece, she dressed up as Blue from Blue's Clues for Halloween. And I know this sounds so dorky. It's really juvenile. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. And again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But To this day, I never even watched Blue's Clues that much because I was way old by the time that show came out. But anytime I get good mail, like not a bill, not a solicitation in the mail, like when I get that thing from Etsy that I ordered like 3 weeks ago, when I get that in the mail, I get all excited. And there's that, you just got a letter dance. You just got a letter. You just got a letter. And I'm serious. I almost feel like it's telling you to do that. Do the letter dance, whatever. Maybe you don't have to clean the cat litter. Maybe maybe cleaning the cat litter wasn't that bad. Maybe you unloaded the dishwasher and it wasn't a chore to you. It went quickly and painlessly. Do a little dance. Do a little dance. Sing a little song. Do the Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do some kind of little like happy dance. That's what I'm getting a strong advice card for that. But all right, I'm gonna shush. But beginning of the week, you got Seagull and you got Blue Heron. And it's funny, this is deck 2. I think last week, deck 2, it's funny, last week, deck 2, the beginning of the week, we talked a lot about a pigeon and seagull energy. I wonder if and believe me, I'm with you. If I'm choosing by number, I like to choose deck 2. Sometimes I'll go with, I always look at the decks and see what I'm drawn to. But maybe if you always pick deck 2, if that's your number, maybe this is some carryover energy. But Seagull now is the time for deep emotional healing. And underneath it at a block, you have Blue Heron, which is make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. You know what? I'm almost getting is that, are you in some kind of situation where you kind of have to stand up for yourself? And what it is it's making it really hard. I get the sense that you kind of have to fight. The other thing is that, or you feel like you have to fight, because you also have kind of 4 birds. 4 birds. And I'm kind of hearing pecking. I don't know, maybe someone's pecking at you, or the other thing that I kind of get is, first off, I love getting the Blue Heron because it's funny, my mom used to live closer to me and we used to go for walks, and there was this beautiful blue heron that was in her lake. He was like this gray blue heron, and I remember one year we were so worried about him because he was out there in the middle of winter and it was getting really cold and he was just standing on one foot. But I do actually this year I bought a small Christmas tree. I've never really had a tree of my own. That sounds weird. I bought a little tree for me to decorate this year, and I'm gonna make another. I made my mom an ornament of a gray heron, and I'm gonna make one for myself again. But when I think of gray heron, I think of that kind of endurance. I think of that gray heron that I would see when I'd walk around, go on walks with my mom. And that gray heron, he hung out even in the middle of winter, even though he was supposed to fly south for the winter. So, wow, guys, this symbolism is speaking to me. I get a sense that in the beginning of the week, it's almost like you're trying to stand up for yourself. And you stand up for what you believe in and do what you feel right and what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. And it's blocking your time of emotional healing. So you know what I'm almost getting? The other thing is that seagulls always stay with others of their same clan, right? And they fly south when it gets cold. Well, you see them in winter too, but I think the other thing is that the blue heron is a little bit more of a rarer bird, and the seagull you kind of see a lot more often. I think what you want to do is there's some kind of struggle, and I feel like this is carried over. I think this has been going on for some time. I'm getting a strong sense that there's some kind of like, and I get the sense that it's some kind of like battle for. I get a sense that it's your sense of self. Like, you don't want to be seen as a seagull. You want to be seen as a blue heron, right? The other thing that I'm getting is that you really do you want to heal. I get the sense that you want peace, and you want to be yourself, but it's almost like you have to stand up to others. You have to prove that you're not just another seagull. You're a blue heron, right? I know that sounds so strange. Please tell me if this makes sense, because this is what I'm hearing, guys. This is what I'm feeling. This is the situation that I feel is going on with you, and you're gonna just feel it a lot more in the beginning of the week. Again, maybe it's a peer pressure thing, but you know what I'm almost getting is I'm getting family. I'm getting family, and it's almost like you want to heal, and you just kind of you want to kind of the other thing I'm kind of getting is it's almost like you want to heal and be normal. I keep hearing I just want to be normal. Um, but it's almost like you standing up for yourself and saying, okay, maybe family is expecting you to behave a certain way, or do something. And again, this week is a holiday that's related, it's not a bad thing, but every time you get around the holidays, you get around your family, and there's some very unique family dynamics. Believe me, I feel you. I completely feel you. And it isn't that, it's not saying that my family is a good bunch. They're a wonderful, wonderful bunch. But you know how it is. It's like, if you know that you have to behave a certain way around Uncle Carl, or your grandfather gets upset if you ever mention this, or we are just coming out of a political season, so God knows, okay, we're gonna be hovering around dinner, and make sure I don't. The other thing is that sometimes there can be a lot of expectations, either with in-laws. That's the other thing, I'm kind of hearing in-laws. All right, this is one interpretation, and please tell me if this is completely out there. Somehow you're feeling like a seagull. Maybe you have in-laws that have more money than you do. And I'm not trying to say that in a weird way, but it happens. I've definitely been there, where I go over to my family's house, and they have like they go all out for Thanksgiving, and that's not my style, because I can't afford that. But it's almost like you kind of just want to do your own thing. It's almost like you kind of want to low key. You want to be low key. You want to be chill. You want to be low maintenance. Um, but I do get this feeling like at the beginning of the week, there's some kind of expectation that you be different, and it's really disturbing your peace. The other thing is that in order for you to maintain your peace, it's almost like you have to do battle a little bit, like not in a physical way, but almost like in a social way. Like you have to say, well, no, I don't want to, um, I'm almost hearing kind of like keep up with the Joneses. Maybe it is a situation where they're like, well, you should be hosting this, you should be bringing this type of dessert, and all you want to do is chill. You just want to be you, and you want to be accepted for you. And even if the real you is not the Joneses, but I almost get the sense that you just kind of want peace. You don't want to have to put on airs, or do anything that's uncomfortable, but you almost want to chill and heal. The other thing I get is that it's almost like you need kind of a break. You've been kind of tired, and but you have this expectation from either your family or in-laws that you have to be different, or you have to do things the way they want you to do things, and it's going to end up being it's going to be like a social conflict, and it's going to cause drama, and it's going to disturb your peace. But I do think that because the seagull crowns this read, is that it's possible that you may just ignore them, or you might just kind of. I get the sense like, all I want is peace. I'm not gonna fight over this stupid stuff. I just want to be a seagull. You be a heron, whatever. But again, it's almost like you standing. The other thing I'm kind of getting is it's almost easier for you to roll over and do things their way than it is to fight, because fighting would cause conflict. That's one other way I can read it. But that's kind of the beginning of the week. And that kind of makes sense, because, again, when we get into the holidays like Thanksgiving and stuff, a lot of family traditions, a lot of expectations, dressing up, if you are going to your in-laws, I know a lot of us are doing the social distancing thing. Maybe it is a fight about that too. Maybe it's like, okay, we really do want to be safe. We shouldn't go anyplace unnecessarily. Maybe you're bickering with someone about whether or not to go to someone's house for the holiday. But middle of the week, you got cardinal, and this is really beautiful. And cardinals, now, just one other observation is that you got the two male leaders, like a cardinal is a male bird. He's the male patriarch, and an elk, when we get to the end of the week, is also the male patriarch. So maybe you're dealing with a lot of male figures in your life. It could be grandfathers, fathers. If you're a woman in this energy, maybe it is related to family or husband. But cardinal, it says, the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Polarities of your spiritual pursuits and your physical pleasures. Now, honestly, guys, when I see your physical pleasures, maybe, that could be indulging in food and drink. It could, honestly, we'll get a little mature here. It could be kind of sex, or, you wanting to, but here it's saying polarities of spiritual pursuits. And that is interesting because when you look at a blue heron, and again, the blue heron is almost like kind of like this higher octave. He's not a seagull. He's a little bit more of a majestic bird. He's not as domestic as a seagull. So maybe you are torn. One other interpretation is maybe you're torn between two energies. Maybe you kind of want to step up and you're feeling like you should act differently. Maybe there's changes you want to make in your life, but it's almost, again, I am getting a strong sense that it's easier to be in the seagull energy. All you want to do is relax. You just want to heal, but you feel like it would be a conflict to take a stand for what you believe in. The other thing is that maybe you are conforming. That's the other thing. The one thing that I know about, that we talked about with dancing too, is that, how we talk about dance like no one's watching? That's like doing your own thing. That's like experiencing your own rhythm. It's like hearing what I'm hearing? Your own inner music. Dancing to the beat of your own drum. That's possible, guys. Dancing to the beat of your own drum. I'm seeing an entire theme of, I feel like you have expectations on you. The other thing is that you almost feel like you're not good enough or something. Like you feel like you're real basic or uncouth. And I don't think that you're uncouth. I think you're practical. Maybe you don't drop unnecessary money on a bunch of fanfare. If you want your holidays to be simple, your holidays can be simple and still very warm and loving. You don't have to maintain any status quo to achieve that. But it does say, with cardinal, the other thing that I see with cardinal is that the very word cardinal, you hear of cardinal lust or cardinal fears, cardinal desires. The other thing is it being a red bird. I do think that maybe, if you are single, it could be that you know what it might be. The other thing, and I'll just throw it out there, is that sometimes when you go to family gatherings and you've been single for a while, they always look at you like, when are you going to get a steady boyfriend? When are you going to get a steady girlfriend? And again, the polarities of your spiritual pursuits versus your physical pleasures. Maybe you're saying, okay, look, I don't have to have a partner. I'm happy. I've been dating. I don't need to bring someone to Thanksgiving dinner. But again, the cardinal bird, the reason that they're so bright, and we talked about this in the first deck, is that, the male birds attract a mate, and they're the bright colored ones. The female ones are very muted because they're the ones who carry children. They don't want to attract attention. But the bright colored birds, peacocks, male peacocks are the ones with all the feathers. Male turkeys are the ones that can do the feather fan. Like, look at me, I'm a hot Tom, So The other thing is that we do kind of have a disparity here, guys. You have kind of a grouse, which is more of a muted kind of color, and underneath it you have a cardinal. Um, so maybe I am almost getting kind of this sense that you want to be seen, you want to be admired, you don't want to be judged. Um, the other thing is I'm getting the sense like you want to dance to the beat of your own drum. Um, but I do kind of get a sense that you're trying to live up to some expectations here. Um, the other thing is that maybe family kind of makes you out to being this one type of persona, but really underneath you're something else. And you're trying to show that to them and make it acceptable, but you keep falling back into the, again, spiritual pursuits. That's your higher calling. In astrology we call that your north node. It's what you're looking to ascend to be in this life. But if we keep falling back into old patterns, or if we do things because it's easy, or because it'll avoid censure, that's not really living your purpose. um, I'm not dogging you. I'm just saying that I do see like there's like a conflict here, guys. The other thing is that I keep seeing that the block is with the pretty birds. It's almost like you feel like you have to keep up an image. There's this image that you feel like you have to keep up with. But it might be in conflict to the real inner you. The other thing is that I think it's also getting other people to accept that, just because you're not, big plumage doesn't mean that you're not a wonderful, warm person. Again, you don't have to go over the top um, and it's almost like I feel like you're kind of grappling with that in the middle of the week. But right around the holiday, I think you are kind of sliding back into the energy of, okay, let me dress up and show up, right? It's almost like you're keeping up with the persona in the middle of the week, and that might be related to the holiday. Again, I get this strong sense like you're showing a side of yourself that you show because it's expected of you, and that could be related to the holiday. The end of the week, you got elk. And again, it's another one of those strong leaders. I get the strong sense that you're either dealing with a real masculine person, like a father and uncle, or some kind of patriarch, or you are striving to be that in your energy. But it says, stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. Oh my gosh, guys. I do get the sense, I mean, is something going down this week where you really have to kind of say, this is me? Have you ever watched the movie The Greatest Showman, and you hear that song, this is me, don't judge me because I look different. Don't judge me because of the way I live my life. I don't have to have the same plumage that you have to be a good person. It's almost like by the end of the week, you're really standing in that dignity. And look at that, guys. It's really beautiful. I love this image of the elk. But I do think by the end of the week you're feeling stronger. I do sense that in the beginning of the week you're trying to avoid conflict, and then by the middle of the week it's almost like you're sliding back a little bit. You're conceding. You're giving in to the pressure to be to project a certain persona. But by the end of the week it's almost like you're standing up for yourself. And I do think that dancing, either in private or maybe the other thing, that one real positive way of staying strong, especially if you're in a social environment that might be a little pressured, is if you have a theme song, maybe you sing the song from The Greatest Showman, This Is Me, in your head as you walk into a room. But by the end of the week, I think that you're going to be feeling stronger. And then something about this event, again, following the holiday, maybe you're taking baby steps to be more of yourself. And the other thing is that social interaction really kind of builds those muscles in us too. It kind of strengthens us because again, if you do have a social situation where maybe you feel a little, and we all get a little judgy. It's it's not calling anyone out, but I get those questions all the time too. Well, you're still doing this. You're still doing that. Where's why didn't you bring a date? Blah blah blah. And you're just kind of like, by the end of the week, after you're like, look, I'm not going to put on airs. This is me, and the not even funny, the cool thing is that the elk is so majestic, guys, and he's so natural. Again, he's brown in color. He's not like he's not bright red. He doesn't have a fan like a peacock, but he's still beautiful. The other thing is that I've noticed that there is such a beauty when someone's confident. You don't have to be the most gorgeous person in the world. You don't have to have all the money. You don't have to be the wealthiest person in the room. If you have self-respect and you have confidence, people will look at you and be like, wow, you do. You walk in the room like the elk. You have your head up high. It's almost like you have, the other thing is I'm seeing the antlers that look like a crown. You walk in with your chin up and your head held high because you know who you are and you're proud of your accomplishments. It's almost like you have an invisible crown on your head. And people feel that. People feel that. And I feel like you're developing it this week. And again, I think it's about dancing. I will say this. Find a song that you dance to. And then if you do find yourself in some kind of situation, whether it be with in-laws or with your family, whatever, sing that song, like almost go back to that dancing moment in your head, and it'll give you confidence as you walk into a room. Now, you've got the Ten of Wands as your tarot. So I do think that you've got a lot on your plate. Maybe you have a lot going on. Maybe you've got a lot of responsibilities. The other thing is that what I notice is that he's carrying 6 wands, but he's trying to collect 4 more. And it's interesting. The 6 of Wands is about being victorious. It's that guy sitting up on a horse. And then 4 of Wands is like, it is kind of the wedding card, but it's like the graduation card. It's like, what I'm kind of getting here, guys, is that I feel like you're struggling. I feel like you're struggling. It's almost like you already have 6 wands, which is that card of recognition and look at me, I've got it all. But you're still struggling to pick up 4 more. It's almost like you want to go to the next level, but you are burdened. You're at your breaking point. So I do think that you need to take it easy on yourself. I do think that you don't have to have all of the other thing is that maybe you feel like you're not as accomplished as other people in your sphere, your social sphere. Maybe other people have more or look like they have more. The other thing is that I've noticed around the holidays, especially when you go over to other people's houses or you visit with family, is that, those are the times when you really see how people live, and sometimes you start comparing, right? And you try not to do that. It's not like that. The holidays are about sharing, and but a lot of times we do take that as self-judgment, like, okay, when's the last time I hosted Thanksgiving? Why am I always so broke? Why can't I have people over and decorate so nicely? Please don't be judging, because you've already you've done enough, right? The other thing that I kind of get is that I am getting a keeping up with the Joneses kind of vibe. It's almost like you're trying to look like the winner, but it's burdening you. So it really is telling you, and especially by the end of the week, just be yourself. You are majestic the way that you are. And the oracle card that you got, what you can be thankful for, is you got Voyage of the Heart. And it says love flows through you and to you. And this is a really gorgeous card, guys. It has all the elements. What I'm almost getting is that Voyage of the Heart. I see, because I see all the elements here, and it's like going through water, through air, through earth. The other thing I kind of get is like the universe. I do get a sense that energy, I keep hearing energy follows thought. It's almost like what you put out into the world is what comes back. And you know, if all you value is status, or if you put more stock into what people think of you versus what you really are, then it puts you in kind of a mindset of lack, because then you never feel like you're good enough. Well, I don't have this. Well, you know, either that, or you feel like you have to fight in order to express yourself. That's a blocked kind of energy kind of thing. So what it's kind of telling you is that it's almost telling you, you don't have to struggle. You've got 6 wands. You already got 6 wands. That's victory, right? You have, the thing it's almost telling you is that you have a lot. You have a lot in your life. You know, try not to compare it to others. The other thing is that when you're grateful for what you already have, the universe will send you more. And I think that's what it's telling you. You have a lot. You have so much in your life. And it is a voyage of the heart. It's a voyage of the heart, knowing that you have enough, knowing that you are enough, you know, that you don't have to be like anyone else. The other thing is that you can manifest really beautiful things that are unique to you. Um, and it's almost like people will follow you. What I'm getting is people will follow you for the things that you do and the things that you have in your life. But that's really a beautiful week, guys. And definitely, you know, if you feel like it's a struggle, you know, it's up to you how much energy you have. But, you know, fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. And definitely, you know, have a theme song. Get a theme song. You know, find a song that you want to dance to. And keep it in your head if you have to, if you know that you're going to, you know, be walking into some, you know, some situations where you might feel, you know, lesser than. Because you're not. You got it. You got this. All right, so last but not least, we got turkey. We got the turkey from the Animal Allies. And we've got the beautiful garnet stone, which is a very cleansing stone. That stone is wonderful for, garnets are wonderful for cleansing your energy. So I'm just going to do a quick shuffle. And let's go ahead and see, turkey people, what is the beginning of your week? Ooh, wow, you saw that, right, y'all? Okay, middle of the week. Oh, wow, middle of the week we got horse, and end of the week. All right, very cool. And crow was trying to pop out a little bit. Okay, so, ooh, thank you. And let's go ahead, and what are we thankful for? Oh, wow, that was fast. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. So first off, again, you got a lot of burgundy and garnet. So I do think that it's a real regenerative stone. I'm also getting a lot of scorpionic energy, and we do have a Scorpio sun in the sky. It's about to move into the next sign, but for right now, we have a few extra days. What is the moon? Sorry, guys. No, it's not going to be a Scorpio moon, but I'm getting a lot of transformation energy. And beginning of the week, we got alligator, and we do have a little bit of a reading thing here. I'm gonna make this real quick. It's not long. So alligator is integration, initiation, ancient energy of birth and mothering, accepting and using the lessons in both the good and the hard parts of life, patience and timing, consider all sides before making adjustments. How are you, or are you not mothering yourself? What lives inside you beneath the surface that is waiting to be born with love and attention? So what I'm kind of getting is, now I do read these intuitively, but alligators, you know, it's funny. You know what I always think of when I see an alligator is that they move kind of slow. You know, like if you see them walking through the Everglades, they're walking kind of slow. But when an alligator is going after something, it can move really darn quick, and its jaws will snap up something. It's like the jaws of death, you know, not in a bad way, but I almost get the sense that the beginning of the week, it's going to be that kind of energy for you. If you're taking your time, you're taking your time. But if you see something that you really want to go after, you will totally, like, you can go and snap it up real quick, right? The other thing is that alligators are incredibly enduring. I almost kind of see of them like land sharks, not in a bad way, but you know how it's almost like a bear or an alligator. You see videos about people finding alligators in their pool, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're just going to stay in the house until he's gone, right? So I do kind of, what I get is that I think you're really, what I'm hearing throwing my weight around. I think that you might be kind of throwing your weight around in the beginning of the week. I'll be honest, guys. If you are hosting Thanksgiving, I know a lot of us are doing social distancing, but if you are quarantining with family and friends, if you are having people over, I almost get this sense like you're getting everything prepared. And if anybody throws off, I'm hearing the Emperor's Groove. If anybody throws off the Emperor's Groove, they're gonna get it. So again, it's almost like things are going at your pace, and things are going at your pace because you're the boss at the beginning of the week. The other thing is, I feel like everyone's giving you a really wide berth. If you are married or you have a spouse, it's almost like they're not avoiding you, but they're taking great pains to do things your way. And again, I'm almost hearing like you're preparing for Thanksgiving dinner. You're gonna have people over, and it's gonna be perfect. And if anybody gets in my way, again, you're kind of plodding along, and you're going about your pace. You're doing things your way. But if anything doesn't go your way, you're gonna pick up the pace and snap. You'll gobble it up. The other thing is that if you see something that you want to accomplish at the beginning of the week, you're really going to go after it. Like, it's almost like whatever it is that you're going after doesn't stand a chance. It's going to happen. I'm hearing like it's going to happen. Whatever you want your way is going to happen. But I do almost get the sense that you're hosting. Like, you might be preparing to cook for the holiday, or you're doing something. And the other thing is, you just got a lot of things on your plate. I do also think that all of that pressure is making you a little snappy, but again, everybody's respecting the fact that you're working, you're doing. People are giving you a wide berth in the beginning of the week, because they're not trying to get their butt snapped. But you're also killing it. You're doing things. But the other thing is that if you are feeling a little bit dominant, try to be mindful of the people around you. Try not to be scary. Try not to be scary. I know alligators get that bad reputation, but they are a little fearsome in the way that they do things. Middle of the week, you got horse, and it's like, it says power, not gaining power over others or abuse of power, but power that comes from within, from having compassion, using your unique talents, and from remembering you are a vessel through which the universe can work and flow. True power comes from remembering that we are all one and acting accordingly. Horse is also about travel, exploring where you are with your own 2 feet. Yeah, I'm definitely getting this, guys. The other thing is that it's almost like you're going from an alligator to a horse energy. Horses are also very exuberant. They go where they want to go. But I almost get this sense that I almost get the feeling like you're transforming, you know, when you want to get something done. Being tenacious is not a bad thing, but sometimes you can get almost dogmatic about it. That's the word I'm hearing. You can almost get dogmatic about it. And what it is that this is not a one-man show. You don't have to plot around. You don't have to walk around. What I'm also hearing is, if you've ever seen the cartoon of Peter Pan, you know how when you started hearing the clock, it's almost like when people hear you coming, they get afraid. But by the middle of the week, I'm not trying to badmouth this. This isn't because I understand that kind of stress. The other thing is that I think I think also with the alligator being misunderstood, I think a lot of people don't understand how much pressure it is to buy all the food, prep all the food, work for 48 hours. And the other thing is that you cook all this delicious food and you can't even eat it, right? So you get hungry, you get snippy, you get nervous, you get anxiety because you got people coming over. The other thing is that the other thing that I think gets misunderstood is that maybe you're trying to keep the house clean, and the moment that you vacuum and everything looks pristine, you blink and you turn around and you got hubby and 2 kids and 3 cats on the couch eating chips and messing up, and it makes you want to go off. But middle of the week, it's almost like telling you to kind of lighten up. You can express your energy. By all means, be creative. Whatever it is that you want to express it, but almost do it in a little bit more of a lighthearted way. The other thing that I get is this is kind of a team effort. This isn't you. It's funny, I see those memes that talk about how when you go into a Zoom meeting, the only way to keep the kids quiet is to duct tape them to the walls. And it's a joke, right? It's a joke, but it's almost telling you that this is a team effort. The people in your life are not out to make you miserable. You don't have to duct tape them to the wall in order to get things done. You don't have to be a tyrant to get things done. The one thing that I've noticed, and this is something to come up, is that I've always noticed that when I'm feeling stressed out or overburdened, if I tell my family what would make me happy, if I tell them, look, I'm a little stressed out, I really wish I could have a coffee, it's amazing how someone will bring me a coffee. People want to see you happy, right? They don't want to be part of your burdens. They don't want to be in your way, ready to be annihilated, because they're in the way. They want to help you be free. So I almost get the sense that if you kind of express it in that way, if you say, okay, yes, I'm feeling anxious about this, I really need this and this and this done, I think your family or whomever's around you will support that because it encourages your freedom. And the horse energy is a lot better energy to be in than the alligator energy. I just feel like, it also talked about mothering yourself. What can you do? How are you not nurturing yourself? How are you taking on too much? The other thing is that it just said in the horse energy about expressing power in the right way, right? You can express this power in a freedom way. Have you ever seen, and I've seen this too, I've seen those moms that, I don't know how they do it. They manage everything with just an air of, the other thing is, with an air of effortlessness, right? And it isn't that you're putting on a mask with that. It's your real energy. But what I'm hearing is go with the flow. The other thing that I have a saying that I have up on my wall that I look at often is it says, take no action personally. Take no action personally. The kids eating chips on the couch, yes, sure. Yell at them, be like, okay, look, we're 2 days out from Thanksgiving. This house needs to be perfect. But you don't have to really come down like an anvil on everyone. You can do it in that dynamic horse energy. The other thing is that I'm getting the sense that if you kind of flip that switch, you're being an example to people. Okay, I'm getting all this done and I'm doing it in an exuberant way. And it's almost like they want to help you. They want to help lift you up. And you're also showing them, okay, this isn't the dirge. We're not, this is, living is not going through and being like, well, I need to buy, pumpkin pie. I need to buy this. If you express it in like okay, I'm putting the turkey in, now let's mash potatoes, now let's do this, hey, do you want to help me, okay, it's your job to do this, it's almost like you're expressing yourself in that exuberant way. You're using your power the right way, and you're being an inspiration to everyone else around you to get the conduit in the right direction where they're lifting you up, and you're spreading your positive energy to them and being a good example. So I do think that you're going to get it together by Thanksgiving. I think this might be like a little beginning of the week, possibly family stress. Maybe you're just having a rough beginning of the week. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that maybe you have to work in the beginning of the week and you're just feeling a little burnt out because you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling like you haven't done all your shopping and you feel like unprepared or something. But By the end of the week, you got octopus. And this is great. Octopus is really a good energy. I always think about having your hands, and I think of multitasking. I do also think of, I do think of adapting. Like, I think of almost like a chameleon. Octopi can change their color based on their background, so it's kind of like camouflage. But it is a lot of flexibility and adaptability and fluid movement. So maybe after the holiday, you're just kind of in your groove. Again, I really get the sense that I see a flip of energy. I feel you being really kind of rigid in the beginning of the week, and then you start to shift the energy, and then it's almost like you see the energy working so well now that you completely lighten up, and you almost become, you go from having bones to not having bones, right? You become fluid to the point where, you're the other thing that I'm kind of getting is that octopi do kind of mirror. Both sides of them are completely. You've ever seen. In psychology, beauty is not based on a certain face shape. It's based on symmetry. The more equal both sides of your face is, like if you have two eyes that are the same exact shape, if both sides of your nose are the same, it's about a parallel because that's a sign of physical health. Um, I do kind of see that kind of balance. It's almost like by you being more fluid, you're getting kind of a balance in your life in that way. But it's the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe by you expressing yourself in a positive way, maybe your people around you are following your example, and they're starting to express themselves too, and it's almost like you're taking joy in it, like you're doing your thing, and but you're also participating in their activities, and their activities are bringing you joy. um, so I am getting kind of a parent vibe from this. I am almost getting a mom vibe if you do have kids. Either that, or if this is like if you're single and you're having a friendsgiving, maybe you have people coming over. But again, I get this sense of you really. I think you're really balancing yourself out, and you're going to be flexible at the end of the week. The only caution with the octopus is sometimes octopi do mirror people, so maybe there might be a little bit of imitation in that. The other thing that I'm getting is that I think by the end of the weekend you're going to be dressing up. Um, this is a weird thing, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Maybe you're trying to be like someone else, and that doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you know. Maybe you saw a video on YouTube about a certain fashion trend, about a certain makeup trend. Maybe a celebrity showing it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do my makeup like this celebrity. Or, oh, look at that fashion trend. I'm going to wear that on Friday. But I do get a sense that it's almost like it's almost like as your energy lightens up, you're trying to be someone new. You're trying to be someone new, and it's almost like you're taking that inspiration from either celebrities or could be family or friends. Um, but somebody that you admire, you're going to feel like, oh, wow, look at her, she's so cool, or look at him, he's so cool. Let me be like that. But the two tarot cards that you got is you got the Page of Wands and you got the Three of Cups. So again, Page of Wands could be a child. So if you are a parent, it could be your children. But I almost get the sense like this is your energy. And again, I do get the sense, I get a real youthful sense. Um, the other thing is I do think that you're going to be around people, or if it's a virtual thing, you're going to be having some social interaction this week. Um, but yeah, you know what? I am getting a strong sense that it's almost like you're trying to discover yourself. Maybe this is the first year that you've hosted Thanksgiving or something, and you're all nervous about it. The other thing is, I am kind of, in all three piles, I am getting kind of a sense like you care what other people think of you. The other thing that I kind of get is like you want your party to be the best, and you want your party to be different. You don't want your party to be like anything else that's been done before. You want to be cool. You want to be cool. And you want to be admired. And that's a very strong Page of Wands energy, because that's kind of novice. It's almost like it's the first time you've done this, and but it is going to be a good time if you are hosting or cooking for people. It's going to be a good time, but I do get the sense that it's almost like you're going about it for the first time, and then by once it's done, you're gonna we always, after a party or after you've cooked something, there's always a takeaway. Like, you always say, oh, okay, next year I'm going to do it this way, or the next time I cook this, I'm going to make sure that I use less flour or get less this. But here I am almost getting it more in a social sense. The other thing is that the turkey that you picked was also one of those turkeys that fan out their feathers. And the male birds, they do that to attract mates, right? They're colorful, and the plumage is big because it's like, hey, look at me, look at me. And I get this sense, like, by you participating this, you want, the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you do go to some kind of holiday party and you see how the person hosted it, and it's like you want to be like them, or you kind of take ideas of how you want to be doing that. But the card that you have, but it is going to be a good time, though. If you're hosting, or if you go to another party, it's going to be a real good time. But it's almost like you're learning how to do this. You're learning how to do this. You're learning how to let loose, to use your energy in a good way. And I do think that you're going to be inspiration to other people, and other people are going to be inspiration to you. So this could be a collaboration. Maybe you and your friends do get together, and you're kind of learning from them, and they're learning from you. But the card, your great gratitude card, is you have transformation, which is a fresh new way of living emerges. Wow, guys. And again, that's what you have to be thankful for. Maybe this is your first year of being in your own apartment. Maybe you have a new house, and this is like the first year. Again, I am getting a lot of first. Like, I'm hearing it like adulting. Like, this is the first time you're adulting or something. But you are, through this experience, you're learning a lot. And I do think that you're learning how to lighten up, and not be, not to be heavy through things. But I do also think that you're taking either inspiration from social media, from celebrities, or your friends. I'm not getting a strong family vibe from this, but I do think that you're going to shine bright. The other thing is that in all three piles, I'm getting this strong sense that you're trying to show. I think the other thing in this is that I think if you're in North America, we've been social distancing for so long. It's almost like, I think a lot of times we forget, it's almost like we've forgotten what normal is, or, how do I handle this? One other thing that might be in play here is like this, the socially acceptable way to handle this, because it is the first holiday season where we all have to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart. And do I invite this person, do I not invite this person, should it be people that I'm, should I celebrate only with people I quarantine with, and how do we do this? Because in essence it's a table of food that you share with people, and we're trying to be careful. But I do think that this week is going to be very transformative for you. The other thing that I think it's telling you is that not just this week, but this time in your life is very transformative for you, and it is you are becoming someone new out of this, and that's really exciting. That's something really to be grateful for. And and try not to snap at anybody. Try not to snap at anyone. All right, guys, but that's a really fun week. That's really great. I love the horse spirit. I think it's really, it is. It's so energetic. It's really strong. It's strong and powerful. All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday week. I hope you enjoyed it, and that you enjoyed the extra cards for the gratitude. I am grateful. What I am grateful for is every single one of my subscribers. I thank you so much for following my channel. If you'd like to check out the How to Tarot, we are going to be back on Tuesday with the Page of Swords. And I promise I'm gonna try to get the deck review video out as soon as I can. I'll try to kick it out when I can, but you know, just check back periodically and you'll see it when it posts, and it'll be here, right in here, in my playlist. So, but I hope you have a good week, and have fun. You know, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.